I don't want my child to grow up in a world that doesn't have an Iron Maiden in it.
I mean, your child is definitely going to grow up in a world with
And what's the point? Hello and welcome to Maiden Voyages, a podcast where we chronicle the entire discography of the world's greatest heavy metal band, Iron Maiden. And it's season 3?
It's season 3. Yeah, we're
Who
back.
would have thought it?
We're definitely going to get through every album at some point.
They said we'd never be back. They thought they'd put us away in their box forever.
Don't call it a comeback.
And yet here we are, back again.
A mere, like 5 months since the last
After
episode?
the indefinite break between series.
This is what happened between the last 2 seasons as well.
Yeah, but we had a legitimate excuse last season because we had issues with mics. This time it's just...
This time life has just been busy and...
We're quite lazy.
Yeah, didn't really want to listen to the albums very
And
much.
there's no monetary incentive to do this podcast. So
We're doing it out of the goodwill in our hearts.
yeah, and that's what counts, right? Should we introduce ourselves as is customary?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I'm Bledd, an historian of sorts, and I like Iron Maiden hell a lot.
I'm Sam, a music journalist of sorts, and I like Iron Maiden a heck of a lot.
A heck
I
of a lot.
guess.
So I think it's getting more each series. I think...
Well, yeah, I mean, my Iron Maiden fandom has definitely increased since doing this podcast. I mean, I always liked them, but it's definitely got bigger and bigger. But I feel like there's going to be some dips in the not too distant future.
Really? The 90s, Sam? The golden era of Iron Maiden?
Maybe like
92 to 99? The glory
golden in the
years?
sense that like chocolate coins have gold on them, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to open up the gold to discover some low quality chocolate.
So should we tell the good people what we're going to be covering in this third series?
Yeah, so I guess with season 3, we seem to be working in 4 album stints. So, as you said, we're going to be tackling in the 90s. So that, well, we've already started the 90s. We did No Prayer for the Dying, and that's 1990.
1990, yeah.
So next we have Fear of the Dark, which is 92.
2.
Then we'll have the X Factor, 95.
5, yeah. Big old gap between them. Yeah.
Yeah, big gap. Then Virtual, is it 11?
Virtual 11, yeah.
Is that because it's the 11th album?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is
That's
that
it.
97?
Yes, or 8. Oh, dear.
Okay, some point in the late 90s.
Yeah. Might
And
be
then
98.
Brave New World.
No, 97, sorry, yeah.
Okay, and then Brave New World 99.
No, 2000.
2000.
2000,
Oh, that
yeah.
late. Okay. And we might also, mainly because I want to do it, tackle Ed Hunter at some point.
Yeah, why not?
Because actually, there's a weird, interesting bridging thing about Ed Hunter. But
Are
get to
we
that
just going
time.
to sit down and do a playthrough of Ed Hunter?
if I can find a way to make it work on a modern computer,
Yeah. Do you have a copy? I've got a copy.
I do have a copy. Yeah.
Do you have Windows 95?
I can set up like an emulated version of Windows 95, and that's probably the only way we can play it.
We're in business.
It's going to be complicated and absolutely not worth it.
No. I do actually remember playing it back in... I probably got a copy just as... I probably had like Windows XP that would run it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a incredibly
XP.
disappointing experience.
That is an operating system I've not thought about in a long time. It's just very blue and orange.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like one of the most Y2K things you could ever have.
Yeah, Windows XP, MSN.
Good times.
Yeah.
Simpler times,
What
really.
a time. Anyway, shoot back to Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I thought this was becoming a technology podcast.
So, like where we sort of do, you who admittedly do know about technology, and me who's just like, yeah, Excel. What's that?
you could do formulas in Excel. Like, God have mercy on us all.
So, should we do a little bit of Maiden news?
So before we get into the albums proper, we'll just do a little, I guess, state of the nation because a few things have developed. And then
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a better thing
The
to call it.
definitive Iron Maiden recap, sort of,
It's going to be a very patchy recap. And yeah, and then we'll end with a little bonus segment and
Yeah, which you literally just surprised me with, but I'm very excited for.
Yeah. And more will be revealed.
Excellent. So, Maiden news at 10. Dun, dun, dun.
Is there much Maiden news?
Wow, Bruce Dickinson's new solo album. That wasn't a thing last time we were podcasting.
That's true. Bruce Dickinson doing a solo tour for the first time in the UK for the first time full stop, right?
Since the 90s.
20 years-ish? Yeah.
20 plus years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, since the 90s was the last time Dickinson toured the UK.
He did nothing around Tyranny of Souls.
No, there were no solo shows for Tyranny of Souls, which came out in 2005, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I was a Maiden fan at that point, so I feel like I would have seen if he was doing something with Tyranny of Souls.
But that in itself is the first Dickinson solo album in almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's been talking about this. This has been teased in interviews for ages.
Yeah.
We're talking literally years at this point. He's been saying, Roy Zed, his longtime collaborator since Balls to Picasso and Accident of Birth and all those records. We've been trading riffs back and forth, but I'm sure you were saying this in the press about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and I got to the point where I actually thought, is this ever actually going to see the light of day at this point?
And it just sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
To announce the album with tour dates alongside it was unexpected.
Yeah, this is well, for someone who's a massive fan of the Bruce Dickinson solo discography, this is big.
Yeah.
And we're going to see it in Swansea.
We are. We're going to go to the shiny, not so new Swansea Arena. It's only like 2 years old.
It's pretty
pretty shiny.
It's the biggest date of the tour.
Really?
In terms of capacity, yeah.
What other venues is he playing?
He's playing the Kentish Town Forum.
Okay.
He's playing Nottingham Rock City.
Yeah.
The Academy in Manchester. And Barrowlands in Glasgow, maybe?
I'm really curious.
He's just added a Wolverhampton date. But I was sure when I was looking at those venues, I was like, bloody hell, the Swansea date is by quite a considerable margin the biggest room he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I've been to that Swansea Arena was to see Alice Cooper and the Cult supported by Creeper.
Yeah.
And it was a very fantastic gig. But yeah, it's a decent sized venue. It's pretty big.
Yeah, so
I wonder if Bruce will sell it out.
Well, he sold out the Kentish Town Forum, so Swansea's not sold out yet, and I think Nottingham Rock City's sold out.
But a London date will always sell out.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
Everyone attends London gigs. There's too many people in London, is what I learned as a gig attender in London.
It wouldn't surprise me if he adds another London date, or if it's available, he upgrades to... I was about to say Brixton Academy, but that's closed now, isn't it? Is it still closed?
I think it is still closed, yeah.
See, that's a massive... Because Brixton would be like the perfect-sized venue.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably... You could almost certainly do the Hammersmith Apollo.
Yeah, but isn't the Hammersmith Apollo similar size to Kentish Town Forum anyway?
Maybe. I thought it was a bit...
Maybe a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
but... Yeah.
But anyway, we get to see Bruce Dickinson in Swansea.
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've touched on Tattooed Millionaire in a surprising amount of detail before, but since then, I mean, I've always known a couple of albums. I've known Balls to Picasso for years, but I've been getting into Accident of Birth.
Great album.
I actually picked up The Chemical Wedding
excellent.
yesterday, so I will get on that. But yeah, it sounds like from the set, he's not going to be playing anything.
I knew that would bother you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It makes total sense. Like, it sounds like they're focusing on anything that Roy Zed had a hand in.
Just because you want to hear Licking the Gun. And
I don't want to hear... all I want to hear, really, is Tattooed Millionaire. And, like, that would just be great. But
yeah. But I get
that's
it.
the only, like, necessary track from that album for me.
But in the context of everything else he's gone on to do solo, it would be weird.
It sticks out like a
just
sore
like
thumb.
dropping in Tattooed Millionaire in between...
like just in the middle of
like Accident of Birth or something.
Yeah, like, follow up Tears of the Dragon with Tattooed Millionaire. It's a good time.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind it actually. That does sound quite fun.
That sounds fun, right? Both. I mean, I love Tears of the Dragon, but it is a stupid song.
Like just the chorus, yeah.
It is like a fantastically well written power ballad. But just the whole lyrics about the Tears of the Dragon, it's kind of just makes it sound a bit like a bad Blind Guardian song.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame because it's a fantastic song.
Yeah. No, I will be there bawling my eyes out going, the tears of the dragon. This is a tangent, but I actually heard a pretty decent cover of that recently by Angra. Oh, no way.
Not a recorded cover, but on Brazilian television, it's their frontman Fabio Leone and their guitarist Rafael Betancourt doing an acoustic version of it live.
Nice.
I mean,
check that out.
yeah, it's a good watch. I think Angra are really big in Brazil.
Well,
And I think Bruce Dickinson's solo material is quite big in Brazil as well.
makes
So
sense.
having Angra cover Bruce Dickinson on telly, which would be incredibly weird in any other context, seems perfectly normal.
Well, the song
on
Tears of the
Brazil.
Dragon has, I was looking at Spotify, it's got millions of streams, which is quite remarkable for a Bruce Dickinson solo song.
Yeah.
So I think it is by far his biggest, his most streamed song, even more so. Or maybe Tattoo Millionaire's just
It's got to
pipping
be
it.
Tattooed Millionaire. Sure.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's got
I'm going to do a live fact.
live fact check. And as you're doing that, excited for a new Bruce Dickinson solo album, The Mandrake Project?
Yeah, 2 singles have dropped so far. The Afterglow of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That's a really strong track.
Very strong, yeah.
Terrible music video. Just absolutely cheesy AF. And then the second one,
Rain on the Grave.
Rain on the Grave. That's it. I was about to call it Wet Graves. I knew that wasn't really the name. Yeah, that was pretty decent as well. Like, I think good signs of an album to come.
Yeah, I think they're both really strong, actually. And a concept album at that, which is quite interesting. Be the first proper concept album that Bruce has sunk his teeth into since Seven Son.
Wow.
Really?
Well, wasn't Tyranny of Souls a concept album?
No. All over the place. It's got songs about alien abductions and flying and...
Okay.
I think Chemical...
Accident of Birth is a concept album.
No.
No, it legitimately is. There's a
Really?
whole elaborate concept about it's someone dies and they're trying to escape from hell. And that's the sort of thread.
Oh, I
throughout the
thought that was
entire
just
thing.
the title track. Oh.
No, I think the entire album's about that.
Oh, then I withdraw that statement.
I might be wrong. But
I know The
think-
Chemical Wedding is themed around the writing and art of William Blake, but I'm not quite sure you could call it a concept. Go on, live fact check.
Tears of the Dragon is number 1.
Yeah?
Doesn't even look like Tattooed Millionaires in the top 5.
What? What else is there?
You've got Man of Sorrows.
Yeah, great.
You've got Road to Hell.
Interesting. Wouldn't have put... I mean, good song, but I'm surprised.
Navigate. Well, actually, this is all out of order. So Spotify has a popular category of top 5, but they're not in a descending order. So can't really
Make of
depend
this
on
what you will.
But Navigate the Seas of the Sun is in there, of Tyranny of Souls.
Oh,
That's a good song.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind him busting that out in Swansea. That'd be nice.
I think he will.
You reckon? Yeah.
I feel
we get a lot
like
of
we'll
Tyranny
get
of
some
Souls.
decent Tyranny representation if he's never played any of that.
I hope
live.
so. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's what Bruce has been up to. Steve Harris has been doing British Lion stuff.
Little Steve Harris
Little Steve Harris has
played the
Lion?
Cart and Horses in London.
Played the Cart and Horses. Do you see who they were supported by?
Was it Fury?
No, they might have also been on the bill, but
I just feel like
opening for them
Fury are always up.
is it Tony Moore, who was the guy who played keyboards for Iron Maiden for about 4 gigs in the 70s?
Oh, okay.
He's opening for them.
Sure. Okay.
Just him and a keyboard and some backing tracks, which I've not seen or heard anything about. But I thought it was quite nice in a way, isn't it? That Steve's there going, right, mate, remember you played
It's a family affair.
those 4 gigs for us on the keyboards about 40 years ago? Want to come open for us?
I guess it's a paycheck.
So, British Lion still doing British Lion?
Yeah. I'm going to go to the Cart and Horses next week.
Are you?
Yeah, well, because I'm in London for work and our London office is like 10 minutes from the Cart and Horses. So I'll go pay my respects. Not
Nice.
that anyone's dead. But,
Yeah.
it's a nice pub.
Just going to sit there by yourself and drink and just
Have a nice trooper.
yeah, have
Delicious trooper.
have a look at the stage in the corner and just imagine a young...
Well,
sweaty
they've
Paul
completely
Diano.
refurbed it. So nowadays the venue's upstairs. So the downstairs is all like quite a nice looking bar nowadays, rather than having the stage crammed in the corner. So
Fair.
it's a different joint altogether.
Tune in next week, folks, to hear Sam's live review of the Cart and Horses in 2024.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's a pub, isn't it?
Serve some trooper.
It's a pub.
Plays a lot of good music.
Happy days. And I guess the only other thing to say is that Maiden are still doing the Future Past tour
Yeah, I'm
pretty
surprised
much
it's
well
still
into this year. Yeah.
ongoing for this year. I kind of thought they might shake it up a bit or take a break. especially with Bruce doing so much solo stuff.
Well,
But-
yeah, to be honest, like my prediction was we might get a new Maiden album this year, and that's clearly not happening.
Yeah, that's
now.
definitely not going to happen. Not with a Bruce solo.
No,
record
yeah,
coming out.
like I can't imagine Rod would ever allow that to happen. But I just thought, because they'd sat on Senjutsu for so long before they released it, because they recorded it before
Yeah,
COVID.
the implication was that there was something already in the bank
Yeah.
already.
Like, I think it was good to get, I think they finished recording it in 2019.
Yeah.
So, that's what, 5 years now, which I guess is not unheard of, but, in Maiden's current recording, touring schedule. But it's going to be, what, 2025, potentially? If they
guess
get
so.
together this year.
And I mean,
or
not
something.
to be a big doomsayer, but also like 2025, you've got to be
They'll be
nearing.
dead.
Well, you've got to be nearing the end of the band as a functioning live unit.
Yeah. Oh, don't say that, Sam. I can't contemplate it.
But
I don't want my child to grow up in a world that doesn't have an Iron Maiden in it.
I mean, your child is definitely going to grow up in a world with
And what's the point?
Your child is currently 2. There's a lot of growth to happen.
Why?
As much as I love them, these are old men. So
I'm so sorry I did this to you, child. Why did I bring you into a world without Iron Maiden?
indeed.
You'll have to try and find some other source of happiness.
World
In
without
vain.
Iron Maiden feels like an off cut of Kiss's Music from the Elder, The World Without Heroes.
Yes, world without Iron Maiden.
So it's a very specific lyrical tact.
Oh, well. Hey-ho. It's, yeah, I mean, we'll get another Maiden studio album, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
But, yeah, Christ, if it comes out 2025, yeah, we are, that tour, if it happens next year, going from 2025 to 2026, that's going to be a band pretty much in their, will they all be in their 70s by that point? Dickinson was born in 58.
Yeah, so Dickinson
reminded
won't
us
quite
he was
be
born
in
in
his
58.
70s. Yeah, he won't quite be in his 70s.
Won't quite be, but that's still a very odd thought to me.
Yeah,
But,
it's going to be an older machine.
yeah, interesting. Watch the space, I guess. So, is that the Maiden news? Have we covered
I think
everything?
Yeah. Did anything else happen in the last few months? I guess not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then the only other thing we were going to do in this introductory episode was obviously we've gone through so much trivia throughout the last couple of seasons, and Blevin is undeniably our resident Iron Maiden expert. So I wanted to put him to the test. And basically, about 10 years ago, Frank Turner, the sort of folk punk musician, was on an edition of Celebrity Mastermind where he had a specialist topic of Iron Maiden. So for those who are not from the UK, Mastermind is one of those weird British game shows that's incredibly stuffy and formal.
It was
I would
actually
say.
modelled on Gestapo interrogation techniques.
Oh, good. Okay,
in the
great.
post-war era. Yeah, the creator of the show. There is some story, I'm probably totally bastardising a story now, but I believe he might have been in the British Special Forces during the Second World War and had been subjected to Gestapo interrogating techniques, and the bright lights and the chair are sort of modelled on that.
So the BBC decided that traumatizing experience could be turned into a family-friendly game show in the vein of, I guess, tonally, you could compare it to something like University Challenge. Like,
Yeah.
there's a sense of, like, intellectualism
It's
to
not
it.
Family Fortunes, is it?
No, it's not catchphrase,
Yeah.
you know. It's it is a lot more buttoned down. You're in a chair in a dark room with an interrogation light on you whilst a kindly old man asks you questions quite aggressively on a very specific topic. So Frank Turner's topic was Iron Maiden. I think in the time limit, he was asked 13 questions, and I think he only got 7 out of 13. So
I'm going to put what's the expression I'm looking for? My flag in the...
your hat in the ring,
My hat in the ring.
flag in the ground.
My flag in the ground. My
your
sword in the
gauntlet down.
stone.
Sword in the stone.
I'm going to say that's weak.
Okay,
Right, okay, so 7, pathetic, Frank Turner.
fair enough. So,
Wait for the humiliation now. We'll see.
well, you know, you're gonna be held to proper Mastermind standards. So first, you have this daunting theme tune. Goes goes on a bit.
Sam's also shining a high-powered torch. I can't see. I'm actually quite intimidated now.
Yeah, there's something quite unsettling about that
intimidating.
music. But what I'm also going to do is put you on the timer, so you'll have a minute and a half to answer as many questions
Okay.
as you can.
Mentally preparing, knowing that my whole reputation, possibly the future of this podcast on the line.
Yeah, no, you won't live it down if you
No.
don't beat Frank Turner.
No. A folk punk musician.
Yes, that is what he is. I think that's what he counts as.
I think that's what he is, yeah.
Yeah,
He seems a nice enough boy.
Yeah, he makes a lot of good music.
Not my cup of tea, but hey.
I really like Tape Deck Heart. That's a good album. Everything else is a bit less my jam. Anyway,
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Your time on the clock starts now. Iron Maiden was founded by Steve Harris on which day in 1975?
25th December, Christmas Day.
Who was the original lead singer, later to be replaced by Dennis Wilcock?
Oh. Tony Slattery.
Incorrect, it was Paul Day. In August 2010, Iron Maiden released their 15th studio album. What was it called?
Final Frontier.
Correct. Iron Maiden left Sanctuary Records in 2006. What was the name of the new company they joined, run by their manager, Rod Smallwood?
Phantom.
Yeah, I also would have accepted Phantom Music Management.
Okay.
What was the nickname of Barry Graham Purkis, the drummer who briefly appeared with the band in 1976?
Thunderstick.
Correct. On what tour in 2008 did lead singer Bruce Dickinson first pilot the band and their entourage in a Boeing 747 named Ed Force One?
Somewhere back in time.
Correct. Which Best Of album released in 2002 includes the track The Wicker Man, inspired by the cult horror film?
Eddie the Great.
I would have accepted Edward the Great as well. What is the title of the 2009 feature-length documentary and live album recorded during the Somewhere Back in Time tour?
Flight 666.
Correct. The band's longest single to date, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, is on which 1984 album?
Auslave.
The chart-topping 1988 album, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, was inspired by a book by which American science fiction writer?
Oh, God. We
Started, so I'll
We did
finish.
this in the pod. Pass.
Okay, well, it's Orson Scott Card. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Okay, I'll take...
No, sorry, 8. I can't count. You
What?
got 8.
Come on.
You beat Frank Turner.
Beat Frank Turner. I'm really... How many questions did you ask me?
So I only asked you 10 questions.
I would say
So
delivery
maybe-
of your
maybe-
questions was rather slow compared to Humphrey's.
Well, yeah, okay, this isn't my job. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Don't take it
It's not
hard.
a fair
It's
concept.
also very possible that Frank Turner did a 2-minute segment rather than the minute and a half.
For the purposes of... Can you ask me the remaining questions?
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Which song, said to be the first by Steve Harris, was used as a B-side for the Running Free single in 1980?
Burning Ambition.
Correct. On the Final Frontier tour of 2010 to 11, what did the band's mascot Eddie appear as during the song Iron Maiden?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
On the Final Frontier tour of 2010 to 2011, what did the band's mascot Eddie appear as?
An alien.
Yeah. I would have accepted an alien mutant as well. Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith returned to the band on July 11th, 1999 in a concert at which venue in St. John, New Brunswick?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, that's quite a...
That is deep. That's in Canada, isn't it?
Oh.
Some ice hockey arena.
Apparently it was called Harbour Station.
Oh, that's harsh. Even
That's
by
a hard
Barcelona
one.
Standards.
I would say all the other ones were pretty answerable.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you answered pretty much.
I'm
all
very
the other
annoyed
ones.
about Orson Scott Wells and Paul Day, to be honest.
It's not Orson Scott Wells, it's Orson Scott Card.
Oh, bloody. Because we went. That was literally on one of my
I know.
prison
Yeah,
days for
you taught me that. I mean, I wouldn't remember.
Orson
that
Scott
either.
Card.
Yeah. I'm also surprised you didn't get the Paul Day one, because I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we
mentioned
would
him
have
before.
definitely. Yeah. But funny enough, we probably presumably talked about him at length, but now you mention Paul Day, I'm like, oh, yeah, that kind of rings a bell.
Yeah. Anyway, I think your
beat Frank
maiden-based integrity is intact, and you've
Okay.
beaten Frank Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's beaten you in like every other way.
metric in life.
Yeah, successful musician, career, all that stuff. But you got this.
Yeah.
You got this little thing.
Take that, Turner. That's all I've got.
Please don't sue us, Frank Turner.
It's gonna DM him now. Be like,
It's all in
hey,
jest
Turner, listen to this. This is how you do Mastermind on Maiden, mate.
incorrectly.
Incorrectly, and not even on telly. Just in a bedroom in Cardiff. No money going to charity whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not as selfless an act, to be honest. It's much less impressive here, sitting in my office room.
I enjoyed it though.
Well, good. Good.
So thanks for that.
So we've all had fun.
Indeed, and that's what this is about, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So speaking of fun, I guess the last thing that remains for us to do in this introductory episode is to do a little bit of a rundown of where the rankings are.
Yeah, 'cause we've got 9 albums that we've ranked. The definitive ranking.
Well, 8 Iron Maiden albums. We've not put Tattooed Millionaire in the ranking.
No, but you're absolutely right. We'll Fear of the Dark is the 9th, so that'll be the first episode proper of the new series. And we've got 8 that have gone through our rigorous empirical assessment process to create this definitive list.
Yes. So that definitive list is calculated by me and Blev both giving individual marks out of 10 for each album, and then taking an average of that to have a consolidated marks out of 10.
Scientifically determined, factual ranking of
and
every Iron
that
Maiden
creates
album.
a ranking that is not at all subjective and biased to the opinions of 2 people who have spent a lot of the last 20 years hanging out with each other and don't have a big overlap in opinion at all. On that note, what do you think is ranked at 8th?
Well, it's obviously No Prayer for the Dying.
It is No Prayer for the Dying.
You asked that as if it's this big cliffhanger question. The people listening are going, well, obviously it's No Prayer for the Dying.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember. What was the score? What was the score for?
So the consolidated score is 5.25 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
I think that tracks.
Yeah, that's about fair.
Okay, what have we got at number 7?
Oh, you see, the thing is once you put No Prayer for the Dying out of the equation, everything else is great. In my eyes, at least. Everything else is great.
Everything else is a hell of a lot better.
I'm guessing Killers.
You'd guess correct.
Can I guess 6?
7.
Oh, sorry, 7. Well, no, Killers is 7, isn't it?
Sorry. I thought you were guessing the rating.
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, the score.
It's position 7 and 7 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, which it feels very harsh to me. But
okay, give me number 6.
I'm guessing Peace of Mind.
You are guessing correctly.
Yeah, which again feels mad when you think what a record that is.
Yeah, I mean, very strong album if you ignore the last third. But very good album. Very good album.
Last quarter. Yeah.
Okay, what have we got at number 5? I'm dragging this out because I'm having to figure out the order of these because I've not pre-ordered them.
I'm going to guess, and again, I think this is an absolute scandal, but I think it's the debut album.
It is. That comes in at 8.25.
Oh, okay. It's got 8. That's...
It's still pretty solid. It's because you gave it 9 and I gave it 7.5.
Let's not revisit this again. So taking us to number 4.
Yep.
Which I'm going to say is... I hope it's not, but is it Power Slave?
It's not. It is Somewhere in Time.
Oh, okay.
Which comes in at 8.75. And then Power Slave comes in next at 8.8.
Okay, so then clearly, knowing us, it'll be Number of the Beast, number 2, and Seventh Son for Seventh Son, number 1.
Yeah, Number of the Beast, 9.25. You gave it 9.5. I gave it 9. And then Seventh Son, we both just gave 10. Yeah, which is fair.
That is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But, maybe some of these next 4 albums we're going to discuss, Sam, are going to upset the charts a bit.
Are they?
Well, when we
I don't want to bury any leads here, but...
start talking about the X Factor, knocking Number of the Beast from the number 2 spot there.
It is quite interesting thinking about those rankings in light of all the other albums we've got to do. And I don't see a huge amount of upset happening.
I don't see a huge amount happening.
I see some shuffling around happening.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
But let's not count our chickens.
No. I mean, we're going to go as ever meticulously into each album and come out with a renewed appreciation or hatred of each one. And, things might change.
So I guess we'll see you next time for Fear of the Dark.
We will indeed.
Ta-ra.